I won a couple of gold medals. I broke a couple world records, and it was fun. I don't want to say it wasn't hard because it was, but like when you're having so much fun doing something that you're passionate about, you don't think about everything else.
Welcome to another episode of Richer Lives by SoFi. I'm Vivian Tu, aka Your Rich BFF, here with father, philanthropist, 23-time gold medal winner, Michael Phelps.
How are you?
Michael, I'm going to be honest. I am fangirling here. As a Marylander, born and raised, I am so excited to chat. But before we do that, we have to do a fun icebreaker.
Okay.
Growing up, my mom read an article that you ate between 8,000 to 10,000 calories a day while training.
Yep.
And I got to know, how much money do you think it would cost you to eat like that right now in today's dollars?
Well, I'm sure I'm going to find out with the 4 boys that we have growing up, right?
Like, eating you out of house and home?
Yeah. My mom would have to probably get another job just to be able to afford the amount of food that I was eating back then.
So you won your first golds at 19. You can't even have a drink. You can't rent a car. And you were a global brand well before most kids know where they want to intern, what they want to study. Let's go back to those early swimming years. Yeah. Your mom was a school principal and raised you mostly on her own. Mm-hmm. Was there ever a moment, like a formative memory, where you actually, as a kid, felt the financial squeeze?
I don't think I ever did. I turned pro at 15, right? I signed my first contract when I was a 15-year-old kid. So I think that kind of freed her up a little bit. Maybe not having this much stress, right? Like, you're a sponsored athlete. You get a lot of perks in that, right? Like a bunch of freebies. You get some cash, right? Equity. There are different things throughout my professional career that I was able to then give back and help my mom, right? Like whether it's helping her with the house, helping her with the car, kind of just doing what a son should do, right? Supporting their parents.
Okay, good son, love it. Was there ever a concern, probably before you, signed at 15, that you would have to ever scale back on swimming because of finances?
No, like I was a very goal-oriented person and just driven by little benchmarks. And for me, I think once I did get pro or turn pro, my contract was set up that if I swam faster, I get paid more. Right, like if I break, like if I break more world records, if I win more gold medals,
literal carrot on a stick.
Yes, so I'm like, cool, this is what I want because that's how I work, right? Like if you're going to give me an incentive, then I'm going to show you that that's going to happen, right? So, fast forward to 2008 when I received $1 million from an old sponsor, right? Like that's serious money, right? Like swimming for 1 week to get a bonus of $1 million plus all the other. I broke 7 world records. During that week, right? So every single world record, you get a bonus. Every single gold medal, you get a bonus. So it ended up working out. And again, like for me, it was so important because we're working in hundredths of a second, right? Like I won the 100 butterfly by 100th of a second, another 100 butterfly by 4 100ths of a second. So for me, if I'm not focused on myself, I know those other things aren't going to happen, right? Like if I'm not taking care of what my body needs, what my swimming mind, whatever it might be needs, then I'm not able to do exactly what I want down the road, right? Like, so for me, it was, I had to take care of myself first and the rest just falls into place, right? Like, think about it, right? Like I became 23-time Olympic gold medalist. It started with
I like how you said it kind of quietly. I can brag about you if you'd prefer.
I won a couple of gold medals. I broke a couple world records and it was fun. Like that was really what my career was. Like it wasn't, I don't want to say it wasn't hard because it was, but like when you're having so much fun doing something that you're passionate about, you don't think about everything else, right? Like I'm focused on how can I get faster that day, that practice, what baby step can I take forward to give me an opportunity, right? And those opportunities then gave me financial opportunities. Yeah.
Right now, if you win an Olympic gold medal as a part of Team USA, you get $37,500, which certainly does not seem like enough for a lifetime worth of work. And most Olympians actually peak financially within the 2-year window around the games, and then kind of it just trickles off. You're one of the very few that turned it into a 20-year run. Do you have a playbook? What was the secret sauce, or were you just figuring it out?
I'd say I was probably just figuring it out, right? Like, again, everything that I was doing inside of the pool gave me the opportunity outside of the pool, right? So there's no, like, there was no playbook, right? Like for me, when I'm trying to win 8 gold medals, no one's ever done that before, right? Like no one's ever tried to win 23. Maybe they have, but they didn't get there, right? So I think through the process of everything, naturally you just learn. But also in the sport of swimming, if you take one day off, it takes you 2 days to get back to where you were. So when I went 6 straight years without missing a single day, do the math, right? Like there shouldn't be a question of why I got the results that I got, right?
Yeah.
I outworked
Everybody
on the planet. For those 20 years, there was not a soul on this planet that worked harder than me in the pool, period.
That is a strong statement and a true one. We see the proof.
Well,
so
and it's crazy.
that's a
like
flex.
I never said it until recently, and I just said it on stage once, and I was like, well, that came out. But I was like, but it was true, right? Like winning a race, like I said, winning 200 butterflies in back-to-back Olympics by 5 100ths, winning 6 or 7 of my 23 gold medals by combined less than a half a second.
Yeah.
Right place at the right time, but also doing the work to help you, right? Like for me, judging the finish, all of those days where I didn't want to go to practice actually paid off, right? Like so in the common workspace, there are days we don't want to go, right? On those days for me, it was how can I get 10, 20, 30, 50% better on that day and not take a step backwards, right? Like I don't want to play catch up. I want to just keep the ball rolling as long as it can. And that's what I did. That was the only reason why.
It's the days you don't want to go that count.
That's the difference between great and good. The greats do things the others don't always want to.
You mentioned that your contract incentivized you to keep breaking records, get faster times, swim better. Was that like standard for contracts back then?
No. I've worked with Octagon for 25 years, and my agent actually just threw this idea out there, right? Like an incentivized contract where each gold medal and then it would be half of my bonuses got added onto my next year's contract, right? So it just kept going, increasing more and more, right? So again, like that was probably a one-of-one deal. I don't know if they're still like that. I'm sure there's some incentives, but like at one point it used to be American records, world records, or any gold, silver, or bronze. And once I started breaking too many American
records.
Wait,
we have to change this contract.
They had to take it out, and it was only world records.
Okay.
Because I was the one that held the American record and the world record in those races.
Oh my God.
So I was getting double bonuses on some of those because it was an American record and it also was a world record. So yeah, we
double dip.
Yeah, it was a really, really special contract. And like I said, like I've never seen a contract that was like that before.
Yeah.
And yeah, how my agent structured it, and again, like that's how my mind worked.
Yeah.
Right. Like I was trying to become one of one.
Yeah.
Right. So money wasn't my driving factor of what I was doing. It was because I loved what I did, and money was just a part of it.
Yeah.
Right. Like being a professional athlete at 15, that's something I always dreamt of. And I had that opportunity and was able to ride it for 25 years.
When Katie Ledecky rolled around, they were like, absolutely do not give her the Michael Phelps contract. Like, we're not doing that again.
Well, she's with a different suit brand, right? She's with Tier, where I was a Speedo back in the day. And that was my big contract with them. So yeah, I don't know what it is now. I mean, I'm sure the contracts have changed. I'm sure with Ledecky, I'm sure she has a one-of-one contract too, because she's
one of one.
She is one of one.
We'll get back to that in a minute. Let's take some time to learn how SoFi can help you build a richer life for yourself. Why should I switch banks? My bank is fine. Fine? We're accepting fine for our money now? Let's raise those standards, bestie. With SoFi, you get a savings APY that is way above the national average. 0 account fees, and your paycheck up to 2 days early. Open a SoFi bank account and set up eligible direct deposit, and you'll score a sweet APY boost for 6 months, plus a welcome bonus. You get all of this and more in just one app. So yeah, if you want your money to sit there being fine, stay where you are. But if you want to bank better, go to SoFi.com/banking. After Beijing in 2008, you got a $1 million bonus from Speedo, and then you put it straight into your Michael Phelps Foundation. Didn't spend it on anything like flashy. A lot of 23-year-olds would have bought a house, a car, a watch. Why the foundation?
Well, for me, I had everything else, right? Like I had a house, I had cars,
the watch was sponsored.
I had my watch, I had my watches. So for me at that point, like it had always been a goal of mine to try to give back and to try to impact other people's lives. And at that time, water safety was the initial start of the Michael Phelps Foundation. what is it? It's the second highest cause of death for children under the age of 14. And for me, being a swimmer and somebody who was afraid to put my face under the water when I started on my back. Yeah. So Miss Kathy put me on my back, and naturally over time, I just flipped over and put my face under. But
that's so cute right now to hear, from you of all people.
Yeah. Miss Kathy, she was my first swim teacher. And now she writes all the curriculum for our Learn to Swim for the foundation.
Oh,
yeah. So it's really special.
We all need a Miss Kathy.
That's right. We do. We definitely do. But I think that's the crazy thing. Not the crazy thing. I think that's the really cool thing about swimming is everybody is going to learn different, and everyone needs to learn different, right? Not everybody has comfort with the water. So for me, she taught me just to feel comfortable and safe. And that's the number one mission for us, is just teaching water safety. There's so many amazing things that you can do around water. So that was the first step. And then naturally over time, we had the chance to add a mental health component. For me, obviously, it's I've been somebody who's openly talked about my depression, my anxiety, and hopefully we are normalizing it, right? We're in every single state, countries worldwide, partnership with Boys and Girls Club and Special Olympics. And we're one of 3 foundations that mixes water safety and mental health together. So for me, I wanted a chance just to give back.
Did you make that decision on your own, or did you have
No, I did. Yeah.
No one else gets credit for that one?
I wanted to.
I gotta know, did you teach your kids to swim, or did Miss Kathy come over?
Not me.
Really?
It was not me.
Your dad's Michael Phelps, and you didn't teach them to swim? Come on.
Miss Kathy taught them. Miss Kathy taught booms at a young age. My coach has helped. My old coach has helped. Allison Schmidt, 10-time Olympic medalist. She's helped a ton. I have a hard time teaching anything in swimming, just because of how my mind works, because I can't break down how my mind thinks to other brains, right? Like I know based off of feel and pitch, like how I pitch my hands, whatever it might be, sculling wise, just to feel in certain sensations in certain areas of my body. Yeah. And it's hard for me to put it into words.
Okay. It just came too natural to you that you're like, hey, I'm going to need you to angle your hand a little different.
But like, that's what my coach did with me. Right? Like he saw little things and he's like, try to do this. Like just try to figure out what works with my body.
Yeah.
Right. I'm 6'4", but have a 6'7" wingspan. So like, obviously these things help. The wings help when you swim.
Yeah. Did you always know that a swimming career would help pay your bills for life? Like, there were athletes back then, but it's not like it is now.
Yeah. I think in the Olympic space, I don't think you're going into the Olympic space to
make money,
to be a millionaire or this or that. Like, I think you're doing it just because you love the sport. And by saying that, I think there's a very small percent of Olympians that actually can make a living off of it.
Yeah.
I was very fortunate to be one of those, right? Like, I got to wake up every single day and do what I loved. Like, are you kidding me? Like, there were times I wanted to quit. My mom's like, so if you want to quit, you want to go work a 9-to-5 job? I was like, good call. Because, like for me, like I'm going into swim, 7 to 9, 3 to 5, a couple times a week, and 8 to 10 times a week. That's a job. Yeah, right. Yeah. Like I'm getting paid to do what I love. Like, no, like I was talking to Wayne Gretzky about it the other day, and he's like, dude,
casual.
I was on stage. It was me, him, and Lindsey Vaughn, and we were just doing a panel, and we were talking about it, and it never really felt like a job.
Right.
Like for me as a kid, it was all about sports, right? Like I played baseball, lacrosse, soccer, and swam, and I was always outside playing, right? I was having fun. I was being myself. So again, like I was very lucky to find a career where I could just be me, my authentic self. And I had a blast doing it, right? Like being able to win a bunch of gold medals, break a ton of world records, represent my country at the highest level, listen to the national anthem, play with a gold medal around your neck. There's nothing better. And I was lucky enough to have the opportunity to do it 5 times.
And I do want to talk a little bit about irresponsible teenager decisions. You qualified for Sydney at 15.
Yeah.
What did money even mean to you at that time? Like, what were you trying to buy? Like Pokemon cards? Like, what does a 15-year-old buy?
I don't even think I wanted anything at that point besides video games, right? Like, for me, it was like, I just want an Xbox or PlayStation. Like, I don't even know if Xbox was out back then, but like it was like Super Nintendo, like all those games. Like I was a gamer. So it's actually funny. So I can tell a small story. Throughout my career, when I turned pro, my mom gave me a deal. She was like, whenever you break a world record, you can go spend what was it, $20,000 or $25,000, whatever it might, you can go do that, but only if you break a world record.
It feels like a lot of people made the world record deal with you, not realizing that they got the short, that they got the short end of the stick.
So it was fun. Like once I was able to drive, right, I bought myself a Cadillac Escalade. Like that was my first car.
Cool.
And there are hundreds of thousands of dollars that are literally just pouring into my account. So I know I can't go out and just spend it all. Right? Like that's just not smart, right?
Yeah.
Like, and it's not thoughtful. And I think through that process of my mom teaching me the incentive base with the world record, I was like, okay, what else am I going to do with my money? Am I going to invest it? Like equity deals. Like I think it really kind of opened me up into thinking differently about my career, not only as a swimming career, but a profession.
Yeah. And signing those endorsement deals like so young and you're dealing with, 6-7 figure things.
Yeah.
Who were you going to for guidance? Was it just your mom or did you guys have, financial help that was starting to guide you?
I've had a financial advisor since I was 15 years old, and he's been the same financial advisor my whole career. His running joke, I know you're going to listen to this, he always says B+ living. His goal is to live a B+ life. Like if you can do that, everything's set up, house, kids, family, whatever it might be, everything is great, right? Yeah. So I think he really kind of taught me the smart decisions, the bad decisions, right? Like whatever it might be.
Budgeting for everything.
Correct. And I think learning that stuff, again, at a very early age kind of helped me be prepared for what else was going to come in life.
Around that time, did you ever get like a really, really good piece of advice or a really, really bad piece of advice? And could you share with us?
I mean, bad piece of advice, no. Just because I think like for me being me, like I'm kind of alone. Like I'm very to myself. Like I'm shut down. Like I'm not really super talkative normally. So I was kind of guarded by everybody.
Yeah.
I had some mentors throughout my career, whether it was ex-swimmers or other retired athletes that kind of just helped me. But I think it's trying to figure out who you are and who you want to be. And I think for me, like when I look back at things that I've done throughout my career, whether it's the endorsement deals, whatever it might be, any company I've been a part of, it's always been natural and it's been authentic.
Yeah.
Like I've never wanted to be with a company just because they're going to hand me a pile of cash. Like, cause I'm not authentic, right? Like, and for me, I would rather be involved with a product where it's my authentic self and I'm just being me, right? Like one, do I believe in it? Two, is it something that's going to help people?
Yeah.
And is it going to make the world a better place, right? Like, are we going to be able to come together to make serious change? And all of those things are kind of what helped me decide who I want to go with. Like Whoop, I've been with Omega my whole life. There's so many partners that have literally been with me from the very beginning, right? And seeing the ups, the downs, the roller coasters that I've gone through publicly and privately and still stand by my side. So it almost becomes a family. I think that's something that's really special that I've had the chance to go through, right? Because I've heard horror stories about everything. But for me, my whole career has truly been a dream come true, right? There are days you just want to pinch yourself to make sure you're not living in a dream.
Okay, philosopher. I was going to ask if you could go back in time and give, 15-year-old Mike just, a little piece of advice, what would it be?
Nothing. I always say that because the things that I've learned through the experiences that I've gone through, I think have helped me become who I am. For a long time, when I looked at myself in the mirror, I saw somebody with a pair of goggles and a swim cap on, not somebody with feelings and emotions, right? So now I think because of the good, the bad, the ugly that I've gone through in 40 years on this planet, I can look at myself in the mirror and see a gray beard and a man bun, right? Like, and I'm like, that's who I am, right? Like, I love it. So, I wouldn't change anything. Obviously, there were a lot of difficult times that I went through, publicly and privately. And I'm happy I was able to get the help that I needed to during those times. But yeah, no, I would never change a thing because I'm happy with who I am and the more I learned about myself.
You talked about some of those ups and downs. It really did feel like you were superhuman on, the Olympic stage, but at the end of the day, you were a regular human and a young one at that. And in 2009, you ended up losing a Kellogg's deal, now thanks to a famous marijuana incident. Talk to me a little bit about what that moment taught you about your income being tied to image versus performance.
Sure. Naturally, I think over time, you build just build yourself up, right? You build the image, everything you're trying to do based off your swimming and everything that you're doing sponsorship-wise. And, I think for me at that time, it just made you think, right? Like think about certain things different ways, right? Like, you are a brand, you are a human, right? Like you're an icon, whatever it might be. So for me, I think when that happened, maybe it was a wake-up call, right?
Yeah.
Like just to rethink things and think of who you want to be and where you want to go, right? I think it's crazy for me going back and thinking of childhood.
Yeah.
My childhood wasn't there, right? But based off of what I did, gave me an opportunity to have a platform.
Yeah.
And that platform then got knocked out for a little bit, right?
Yeah.
Like I had to regain some trust from others, right? Like I was very fortunate that I only lost one sponsorship, but just being my authentic self and showing that even with a downside, you can still do great things, right? Like even if you do slip up and make a mistake, you can still do great things. Somebody always told me, make a million mistakes, never make the same mistake twice, right? So I think for me in that moment, I learned a lot, financially, trust, whatever it might be. And I think from that point forward, the only thing I could do is grow, right? Like I can't dwell on it. Yeah, I made a mistake, but again, don't do it again.
Yeah. So I want to pivot and I want to talk a little bit about your endorsement deals. Was there a certain point where you were like, oh, I need to start getting really strategic about this? I don't just want cash in hand. I want to do other stuff.
Yeah. I think over time, my agent got smart in trying to structure contracts different way, whether it was me taking equity, whether it was me just getting cash. And it's been really fun, right? Like, being able to be a part of Whoop, Talkspace. Again, it's the process, right? Like being able to work with the company to try to make it massive. And especially when you believe in it, it's really easy, right? So, the equity deals have been really fun. But I think just having an agent that is able to structure deals in different ways, looking long-term, right?
Yeah.
Like you're invested in it, right? Like
Skin in
you
the
want
game.
them. Yeah, you want them to go massive, right? So instead of just getting a pile of cash, like for me, I'm along the ride with them, and I think it's a pretty cool feeling, especially when the companies start from nowhere and just hit home runs, just become massive.
Oh, I love that. Now let's take a break to show you how SoFi's all-in-one app can help you hit your money goals. Not all debt is created equal. Seriously. When you carry multiple credit cards, it means different minimum payments, different payment dates, and different rates that each live in your head rent-free. A SoFi personal loan could change all of that. You get one payment with one fixed rate that won't randomly go up on you. Now, all of your expenses from travel or emergencies could have an end date while saving you a bunch on interest. You can borrow up to $100,000 with no fees required because who likes being forced to pay fees? Wave bye-bye to bad debt at sofi.com/personal-loans. Hey, we're going to get into some heavy topics. If you're struggling with mental health issues or thoughts of suicide, call or text 988 or chat at 988lifeline.org to get the counseling you need. I do want to take a turn and have a really serious conversation. After the London Games in 2012, you had said that you didn't come out of your room for 5 days.
Yeah.
But eventually came out as an equity investor in Talkspace. Mental health, you've always said, has been really important to you. When you said, I'm done after London, what happens to your income on Monday?
I don't know. I have no idea. I mean, like, honestly,
Really?
like at that point, I didn't care.
Yeah.
Like I literally came back to the 2012 Olympics because I had to, because I had contractual obligations that I had to fulfill.
Oh.
So for me, training up to that point, there was probably a whole year during that quad that I didn't swim. Like I would skip a week, come back for a week, skip 2 weeks. I would just go and do whatever. I was just stiff arming the sport because I wanted to break.
Yeah.
And I think what you're referring to, being locked in my room, that was after my second DUI. And at that point, I didn't feel like I should be alive anymore. And I felt like I didn't deserve to be alive anymore. So I think at that point, that was the first time it really ever that struck into me and started having those feelings and emotions. So then at that point, I just became scared. And I think that was the first time that I asked for help, right? Like I feel for so long that we would just kind of sweep it under the rug and nobody wanted to talk about it, right? Like my parents didn't know what to do. Their parents didn't know what to do. So for me, I almost wanted to create a generational shift, right? Like make real change, right? Like it's not embarrassing to go to therapy. It's not embarrassing to ask for help, right? Like we struggle in times. So I think at that point for me, being able to meet with Talkspace where I was already in therapy and being able to have it on your phone, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like how much are we on our phone every single day?
Yeah. You don't want to know my screen time.
But like, I think for me, it's like, why are we not utilizing the things that are out there to help us? And especially in those dark moments, you can literally pick up your phone and text, you can call, you can video call, whatever you're comfortable with. And I think for me, that truly helped me with being on the road so much, right? Like time changes and everything. So again, it fit into me and who I was. And it has been a really cool ride to see what we've been able to do at Talkspace. And I'm looking forward to that next chapter.
And speaking of mental health, things have changed a lot for athletes in my generation. We saw Naomi Osaka pull out of the French Open. Simone Biles withdrew from the Tokyo Olympics. Alyssa Liu took a hiatus before the 26 Winter Games. What were you thinking after seeing them put their mental health first on such big stages?
I mean, it's definitely a game changer. Right? Like, being able to put yourself first in those, put yourself first in those moments, I think is super important. And especially them being able to deliver their message how they wanted to, right? Like I can go back to Naomi's post. Like I remember reading her post on IG and it brought tears to my eyes, right? Because I know how hard it is to be able to become vulnerable and open up and share those things. So, when I started hearing and seeing all of these other athletes step up and talk about it, it literally brought me so much joy not because of them struggling, but because they're okay and they feel safe enough to open up. Because I think for me, that was the scary part my whole career is like, I'll feel judged, or maybe I'm the only one that's going through this. And I think we need more people to open up and talk about the struggles that they are going through with mental health, right? Because naturally, if you're leading by example, everybody else will follow. Like that's how I always was in the swimming pool. I led by example, and it's the same thing here, right? Like we are all going through ups, downs, roller coasters, emotions, feelings, whatever it might be that could be overwhelming. And I'm just so thankful for all the athletes who are taking care of their mental and their physical health, right? Like those two things, if you combine them together, you're able to become your own superhero. Yeah. Right. Like for me, my kids call me Aquaman. It's fitting, but it's because I'm paying attention to both, right? Like I'm still in the gym because that's what I need. And I'm still working and practicing on my mental health. Right? Like I know I'm not going to be perfect, and I know I'm just going to continue to grow through this journey. And the more people that, like athletes, celebrities that are opening up and talking about this stuff, I think we can finally rip that Band-Aid off of it and have conversations about it, have meaningful conversations about it. The suicide rate isn't going down. Yeah. Right? So how can we work together to help others? Again, like you've heard me talk about that so much today, right? And we know there are so many people who are struggling with some kind of mental illness.
Yeah. So we've all heard the phrase, money doesn't buy you happiness. Like, do you think that's true?
Yeah, 1,000%. Yeah. I mean, I don't think it matters who you are or how much money you have. Some people are just unhappy, right? Like no matter what, or they're struggling or don't know how to talk about it. And I think like for me, money has never really it hasn't bring me joy. It's never like, it's not something I'm chasing. Yeah. It's just a part of life, right? Like, and I think, if everything I thought about was money, I don't think I'd be able to be successful, right? Like, because that would be the only thing.
Say more about that.
But think about it. Like, if you're only thinking about money, then you're not having the time or the energy to think about all the things that you need to in order to be the best version of you, right? Like, for me, if I was thinking about money every time when I was swimming, I'm not thinking about swimming and my stroke and my kickouts and this, that, and the other, right? Like, I'm only thinking about money. No. Like, I was never and never have been obsessed with money. It's just, why? For me, it's all purpose, the process. Like, what are you doing? How are you getting there? And like I said, like naturally money is going to come with success. Yeah. That's how it works. True. But yes, I do not agree that money brings you happiness.
Yeah. So you don't chase money. Would you say you chase success?
Probably. Yeah. Happiness, success. Yeah. What makes me happy? What makes me feel successful? How can I make an impact in the world? Like for me, that's all it is. Like, how can I impact the next generation? How can I help somebody who's struggling? What can I do to give back? Yeah. Again, like I've been very fortunate to, have a lot of father figures, mother figures, like people in my life, mentors who have helped me. And I wouldn't have been able to do all of this without them. So for me, I want to give that kid who is dreaming of being a one of one, and whether it's in swimming or basketball, whatever it is, I don't care, right? Like, just go do it. Believe in yourself, right? Like, there are going to be people out there who doubt you nonstop.
Yeah.
I believed in myself every single day, and that's why I was able to do what I did. Turn out all the other noise and just be who you are. Be your authentic self. Be you.
I love it. Michael, selfishly, I had the best time chatting with you. I have been such a fan for so many years, and I know everybody listening at home really loved this conversation. Thank you so much for joining me. Thanks for watching Richer Lives. If you really resonated with something from Michael's story, drop it in the comments and make sure to subscribe so you can keep building your own richer life.
We gotta save time for him to sign my swim cap.